What's good, everybody? Is when I'm coming back at you on another video. So this video is going to be highlighting the importance of investing in yourself and the importance of becoming an expert, becoming the best at something. Because what you need to remember is this: the superstars in life always get paid the big bucks. Now, you've always known this, but you've probably known this subconsciously without truly ever putting thought into it. Because what you need to know about yourself and society as a whole is that we as people, we're always striving for, we're always looking for the best. We want the best in everything, right? We want to live in the best home at the price point that we're comfortable with, right? We want to drive the best car at the price point that works for us. We want to eat at the best restaurants at the price point that works for us. We want to, take the best vacations at the price point that works for us, right? Like, we always want the best in all areas of our life, right? Because if we have two choices, say for example, we have $1,000 to spend because we need to buy a brand new phone. If we have the option of the new iPhone that has all of the amazing features that we could ever want in a device, or a new $1,000 flip phone, right? Motorola Razr. Like, let's just say that phone that was out like a decade or two ago, that phone just decided to revamp itself and it's still a flip phone that has, the numbers with the digits on them, how you had to like press the number a bunch of times to get to the letter, right? Like, if that company decided to make a new $1,000 phone, which one are you going to take, right? Of course, most people, virtually everyone's going to go with the iPhone, because the iPhone now is state of the art and it has everything that we need, right? Like, and that's because you are always looking for the best. You are always striving for the best. And in life, right, it's the superstars in life that always get paid the big bucks, right? There's no surprise why, if we use musicians for an example, right, it's no surprise why the biggest musicians, like the largest international stars, are the ones who make the majority of the income as far as in the music industry. Why? Because people usually listen to the mainstream artists, right? Because their music are the ones that are on all the radio stations and, pushed everywhere. But these are the artists that also can do, arena tours and stadium tours and bring in tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars from these tours, from selling merch, from doing all these things. And that's because they've invested in themselves, right? They've honed in and constantly worked to improve their own internal value, right? The intrinsic value. And because they've honed in on their craft so much, they get paid for their ability, for their unique ability, pretty much, right? It's like they get paid the big bucks because what they do can't be done by other people or the average person, right? Some of these amazing artists, like if we use, Rihanna or Beyonce for an example, it's like the reason why they make so much money, right? And they've been financially successful is because their ability to perform the music, right? To sing the songs can't be done by other people, because if they could be replaced, then they would be, right? But their ability is second to none. So that's why they get paid the big bucks. And it's because they've been singing for decades, right? They've done this since a child. And what they do can't be done by other people. They're the superstars in this lifetime. And so that's why they're able to receive the big bucks. The same with athletes, right? The reason why athletes get paid the big bucks, because these are people who've played the sport their whole lives, who've played it pretty much for free when they're kids growing up, right? Because they love the sport itself and they fell in love with it. And so because they showed up and played the sport each and every day and obsessed over the sport, they naturally became the best at it. And now playing in the professional leagues, right, they get paid the top dollar because people want to pay to see them play, because these are the best players in the world and they can do what other people can't, right? Because if other people could play just as well as them, then they wouldn't be getting paid the amount that they get paid, because then people would just watch other players play, right? But they flock to see the best players in the world do things that they know they themselves can't do, right? And it's the same. You can go through any and every industry. It's the people who are either the best at something or perceived as the best are the ones who make the big bucks, because for people it's a lot easier to just know a couple names in every industry, right? Because I'm sure it's impossible for everyone to know every human being in every industry, right? So it's just easier to know who are the top names in every industry, right? And these are the people who get paid the big bucks because these are the people who invested and worked on their craft each and every day. So if you want to eventually make the big bucks and be successful, at least like financially, right, materialistically, wealth comes from you investing in yourself and improving. And for you, when you invest in yourself, that's when you grow as a person, and that's when you begin to uncover your true value. And as you uncover your true value, that's when you begin seeing yourself as actually being valuable, and your ability to provide value to other people significantly increases. And if you're able to provide value to other people, then that means, right, the way in society works, right, an exchange of value would be that someone can exchange currency for your value, right? Like that's why there's some entrepreneurs that can make $100,000 in an hour, right? Like they can charge $100,000 for a 1 hour coaching session. Why? Because someone can have a business issue, a business bottleneck, and they don't know they don't know what's wrong with their business. They can hire an entrepreneur who's, worked on numerous 7, 8, 9-figure businesses, who has experience running businesses and operating businesses, who can say, okay, well, if you fix this bottleneck right here, your revenue or income will go up by an extra $1 million at the end of the year. So you paid someone $100,000 for an hour of expertise that can net you an additional $1 million at the end of the year, right? It makes sense why someone would pay for someone that much for their expertise, right? Because this person, they've invested in themselves. They're the experts. So that's when someone is an expert, they can charge whatever price they want because they understand that there won't be someone else that can do what they do, right? It sounds unheard of, right? For someone to charge someone else $100,000 for a day or for 2 hours or for an hour. But that's because the value that they deliver is worth more, significantly more than the amount that they charge, right? That's how it works. That's why if you wanted to, let's just say you wanted to contact Taylor Swift and have Taylor Swift host your private birthday party, it's gonna cost you a pretty penny for that, because the time that Taylor Swift would be at your party is time that she could be doing something else, that she could be doing another show that could pay her 7, 8 figures, right? So it would cost you a good amount. Why? Because you can't just go down the street and find another Taylor Swift, right? Like that doesn't happen. So this is what you need to remember. Human beings, we're always seeking the best. We always want the best. And if we come across the best, we're willing to pay top dollar for the best. And if you are someone that wants to increase your income is closely tied to personal development. Income is closely tied to your own internal value. And so if you want to increase your income, you need to increase your internal value. You need to continue investing in yourself and honing in on your skills and finding your purpose and your gift and going hard on that. Because when you find something that you can be good at and you can be the best at, then you become the expert. You become one of the industry leaders. And by default, people are going to want to come to you, right? People may not know if someone is, let's just say you have done real estate and you've done real estate for decades, right? Chances are you've made a name for yourself. And so if there's someone who's looking for, let's say you've been like a real estate salesperson, right? If there's someone that's looking for a property that doesn't even know who to go to, right? Someone who has money, right? They'll be like, oh, let me go to this guy, right? Because I've seen this guy's face everywhere. He's been doing real estate for 30 years. Like he knows something, right? So like, that's why a lot of the industry experts or the leaders or the superstars are the ones that get the majority of the clients, because people are familiar with them and their work, or because they're the experts. It's like, let me go to this person. This person is knowledgeable, right? And you can charge a premium price point because you can, because what you will deliver in value cannot be found by another person, cannot just be found on the street, right? Like, you will be able to deliver a different level of value that can't be delivered by someone else. So this is why each and every day you want to improve on your skills, you want to grow and get better, right? Some people don't invest in themselves and they don't improve, and then they wonder why their life situation doesn't change, and that's because they've never changed. They've never decided to do anything differently, right? If I use hip hop as an example, as one of my favorite genres of music, a lot of these hip hop artists, these are artists from since children. They were writing music and rapping, and practicing. That's why for some of the largest hip hop artists in the world, they make it seem easy and effortlessly, but it's because they have decades of experience of them writing music and rapping and making music. So when they rap really fast and they don't stutter or make mistakes, that's because of the years of practice. Or when they write a rap that it seems almost impossible of how well thought out or how genius these lyrics are, it's because they've been doing it for so long. They can do things that the average person can't. That's why they get paid the big bucks. That's why people show out for their shows or their concerts and it ends up being sold out crowds, because they make music that the average person can't do, right? Because of all of the experience that they've had. So sorry about that, guys, because I randomly choked and started coughing, and at this point I pretty much lost my voice. So I'm gonna just end the video right there. So if you enjoyed the video, do leave a like and subscribe, as we are on the road to 1 million subscriber, guys. So once again, it's Joel and I'm out. I'll see you guys for the next video.